Hello, Dominic Jackson with Guaranteed Financial Solutions. Here to bring you 10 tips on things not to do or mistakes to avoid. In tip number 1, I want you to stop putting it off. Don't procrastinate. Get started. No matter what it is, take that one step to get started today. In the long run, you will cost yourself thousands of dollars by not getting started right now. If it's paying that account, making sure you don't miss those payments, getting started on your credit repair, get started right now. The longer you wait, the more you are costing yourself in the long run. Credit tip number 2 in things not to do. One of the worst things you can do is not audit your credit reports. This is extremely important because if you don't know how an account is affecting your score, then you could end up doing the wrong thing and cause you more damage. What do I mean by this? Well, let's say you have an account that you have late payments on, open an account, and you want to dispute and get this account active or corrected. And so you go to do that and this account gets deleted. What you may not have known is that account was giving you more credit history than affecting the other areas of the score. So now when it got deleted, it lowered your score instead of raised it. So again, it's important to audit your credit report so that you know how each and every account is affecting your scores and then proceed. So again, in credit tip number 2, make sure you audit your credit reports before doing anything moving forward. In credit tip number 3, I want to talk to you about disputing. In disputing anything on your credit report, whatever you do, do not dispute online. When you dispute online, and this is what the credit reporting agencies want you to do, you give up some of your legal rights when doing so. So please make sure you do not dispute anything online. You want everything in writing. Credit tip number 4. I want you to avoid this mistake of not keeping records. When you don't keep records of everything that happens when you're disputing, that could be a major mistake. Those records could help you tremendously down the road if you ever have to file a complaint with the FTC or the CFPB, or have a possible lawsuit to where you can win up to $1,000 per violation on the CFPB side. So again, make sure you are keeping records of everything that you are doing so that you have that information in the long run to help you. Credit tip number 5, I want you to avoid talking to debt collectors. Do not talk to debt collectors on the phone. Make them communicate with you in writing only. They will do everything they can to trick you into getting you to validate that debt. So simply stated, let them know you do not discuss any financials over the phone with anyone, and you require all to do so with you in writing. Make it quick and easy. Just again, let them know I do not communicate my financials with anyone over the phone. They must do so with me in writing. Credit tip number 6 in things not to do or mistakes to avoid. One of the mistakes I want you to avoid is not knowing the laws that protect you. There are laws that protect us as consumers, and we must make ourselves aware whenever we're dealing with these things. The laws like the FCRA or the FDCPA or the Fair Transactions Credit Act or the Fair Billing Act. There are a lot of different things out there that protect us as consumers. And if we know our rights, it helps us in our fight towards getting this erroneous, unverifiable, outdated, or incorrect information off of our credit reports. So again, if you need help, that's why we're here as professionals. It is our responsibility to make sure that we know those laws. We're in them every day as they are changing or updating to make sure that we are helping our clients. Credit tip number 7 in things not to do or mistakes to avoid. One of the mistakes I want you to avoid is closing your credit card accounts. Again, this is extremely important to remember because you do not need to close your credit card accounts, especially if you have those accounts that are owed, giving you a lot of payment history. Keep those accounts established even if you're not using them. it's better to contact them to see if you can get better terms than going to another one. Especially if you have an established relationship with them, you have a lot more power to be able to ask for things and keeping that established. The myth of having more credit card accounts, it doesn't matter. Okay. Keep those open because they could possibly affect your utilization rates and drop your score. So if you don't need to close them, keep them open as it will not affect you. Credit tip number 8, and things not to do and mistakes to avoid. One of the biggest mistakes we can make is not knowing the difference between verification and validation. In verification, you are asking for the credit reporting agencies to verify that the information on your reports is 100% accurate. You cannot ask for a verification through or from the creditor directly. They must validate the information, or vice versa. The credit reporting agencies cannot validate anything as they're just collecting the information from the furnishers. So remember, there is a difference between verification and validation, and you must make sure you are using the correct wording if you are going to try to do disputes on your own. Credit tip number 9, and things not to do and mistakes to avoid. In credit tip number 9, I want you to avoid not getting things in writing. If you are going to settle anything or do anything, make sure you get everything in writing before doing so. Don't let them trick you on the phone and just collecting it right away. You want them to send you something in writing before doing so. This way, again, you have proper documentation and proof of your conversations. Make sure they email you, send it to you before you do anything, but avoid the mistake of not getting it in writing. Credit tip number 10, and things not to do and mistakes to avoid. Okay, this is probably the most important one because it's the biggest one I see. That is giving up. Do not give up. Be patient. This is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. Although we want things to happen fast, I certainly understand that after having gone through it myself. But whatever you do, be patient and don't give up. Keep going. Those mistakes are there. You just have to find them, and you have to continue in this journey in establishing new habits and continuing in your financial journey. So remember, in credit tip number 10, don't give up. Be patient. Keep going. You deserve it. Your family deserves it. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.